All right, now is Bitcoin going to dump because it's going to make a triple top here, triple top, or it's going to pump straight through to 150, 160K? Look at this crazy chart. Look at this, triple top. Is that what we're thinking? Do you think Bitcoin can make this 1, 2, 3 triple top? Would you call that a head and shoulders pattern? We're going to do a deep dive to see what the whales are doing today, right? Is this a shoulder, head, shoulder pattern, triple top, and we go down? First of all, I can tell you off the top straight away, right? No more bullcrap. This is not a shoulder, head, shoulder pattern. See, we could have a triple top, 1, 2, 3, but one of the key rules of a triple shoulder, head, shoulder, head, shoulder, if that was to happen, is if the neckline is rising. Right, see the neckline here is falling. So then you basically need the neckline to be somewhere down here. For this shoulder to break the neckline, it would have to come down here. That doesn't work. So I'll show you a shoulder neckline that does work. So this is one I've been talking about for a long time. If we were to consider this much wider pattern to be a shoulder, head, shoulder, we're starting the right shoulder now, and boom, break here, then yeah, that could work. That could work. So we need to be really careful if that pattern plays out. And what are the prerequisites? One, this shoulder mustn't go higher than this head, right? The shoulder shouldn't go higher than the head. That just makes sense. So basically, this head was 124.568. Let's call it 124.6K. If we can get it a day where it closes above, right, and then it comes down and screws around, then that negates the shoulder, head, shoulder pattern, because your right shoulder is then higher than the head. But right now, we can still, I'm not saying this will happen, I'm saying there's still a small probability this could happen, where we have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder comes in, right, to 123.9, just misses the high, and we go down. And if we break this key 116K area, look how key this 116K area is, because see this red? See this red? This is the neckline. That is at 116, and the blue line is also 116 because all of these are at 116 area, right? So 116.5, 116K. Imagine we popped up, right? Missed, didn't make a new all-time high, and came down and broke through here. That would be a pretty bad situation, folks. Bitcoin really needs to avoid that. So can Bitcoin pump through and go all the way up? That's the question we're going to answer today. I'm going to show you some charts, some on-chain evidence that nobody's talking about, but I think it is pretty much going to, change your mind. I'm not going to say up or down. I'll make a pretty definite call on where I think this is all going. ETH is kind of in the same situation as well. ETH and Bitcoin really needs to make a move up and not doodle around here, because look, we've said all along ETH is basically here, right, bouncing off this rising trend line. And this has been carrying ETH since April 7th. And we really don't want this breakdown here. This breakdown would happen around the 4,100, 4,050 area. And I've been saying this is a bull flag. So I've seen we've got the flagpole, the flag itself, and I've been calling this a bull flag around here, right? More than 2 weeks ago. And then here, lo and behold, we hit the top of the flagpole here, right? Top of the bull flag here, and we're pulling back a little, right? I don't want to see it to retest at 4,100. It can, but that would just be too much of a heart stopper, right? Heart stopper. Don't do that. And just go like this, boom, breakthrough, please. Okay. So both Bitcoin and Ethereum are in the same situation. If Bitcoin doesn't retest, like I say here, if it just goes slightly sideways and then boom, by mid or late October, just break through, that would be great. Do we have any evidence this is going to happen? Well, we have lots of charts to show you guys today of what is happening, what the signal is on Bitcoin. Okay, and what's happening with altcoin season. Let's get straight into this episode. But before we do all of that, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo use? Well, Pablo uses this exchange that's non-KYC, which means you don't need to show any ID. That means basically the exchange can't see who you are. So therefore, the IRS can't see you, the tax office can't see you, the FBI, CIA, nobody can see you, total privacy, right? So exclusive with Pablo, right? This prize pool up to $120,000, just exclusive with the Pablo link. Here, deposit 100 US, get 20% bonuses. Deposit 100 USDT, get $20 bonus. Deposit 100 USDT, get 200 USDT bonus. You get the idea. Okay, so this is limited offer only, folks. Finishes on October 16th, right? And if you're watching on YouTube right now, then the link is in the description below. But if you're watching on any other platform, that's okay. Just go to my, such as this one, whatever platform you're on, just go to my profile page and click on my link tree or stand link, and it should be the first deal that pops up because, as we can see here, this is a great deal. Okay, let's get back to the markets, folks, because this is a great deal. But just remember, this is only on the Pablo link. So both Bitcoin and ETH are trying to avoid this breakdown situation. Is it a distribution at the top, or are we ready for one more leg up? So let me show you a few charts here. This the old season chart. I'll come back to that. People have questions on old season as well. But this is one of the better charts. The MVRV, right? Market value, realized value ratio. And that's always been a very, very important chart to look at for judging whether we've topped or we've bottomed. So the MVRV is basically defined as the market value versus realized value, right? It's basically market cap to the realized cap. And usually, if it's above 3.7, it's kind of like a top. It's below 1, it indicates price bottom, right? So this is the MVRV chart we have here. But I'm going to show you guys just this area from 2024 onwards to show you the last 2 years of action, and it's here on this chart. So as we can see, when it is like getting to this, even as it gets close to this 3 level, we've had tops. Oh, this is actually all the way from 2015. So this is like a 11-year chart. Okay, first let me show you the bottoms. The bottoms has been called very accurately. When this thing went to extreme value here, Bitcoin bottomed in 2019. Look at that. When this thing went to the bottom here during COVID crash, that picked the bottom of the March 2020 COVID crash. When this came to extreme value here, right, that also picked the bottom of the Bitcoin bull run. Bitcoin bear market in 2020 showed us that around September, October, perfectly, well, almost, pretty much got in under 20K, 18K. That's pretty good. The bottoms have been great. Tops, not so great, because here's the thing, right? It's signaling above this value, above this is like above 1.5. It starts flashing. But look, Bitcoin just keeps on going from $2,000 all the way to $20,000. So you would have missed a 10x run if you took his signal here. So it works for the bottoms, but not quite for the tops. Here, right? Once again, right? It started flashing late 2020 into early 2021. When Bitcoin topped at 64K, and we can see here, basically, it started flashing the signal when Bitcoin was around 20K, and eventually ended up around 64K. It kind of gave us another signal around 69K, but not quite high enough. So what's the signal here this time? What is significant about the signals that we're getting around this time is the fact that is the fact that it's not going to the extremes this time. Like in the past, it's gone to the extremes when it is going on a bull run. This time, it gets to this value here at not even 1.5. It gets just to 1.4, and it pulls back. Like pulls back, 1.4 pulls back, right? It's been inside this range. Doesn't go into the negative territory, which is zero, below zero, right? It basically hovers between 1.5 and 0, gave us that, high at 73k Bitcoin, then low at 49k Bitcoin, then high at 109k Bitcoin, low at 74k Bitcoin, and this bounce up here is even below 1. So we can't say that Bitcoin is overheated, right, by looking at this chart. So let's look at more charts. Here's a more short-term chart. It's basically about open interest. Open interest, as I've explained many times before, is just the futures trading volume on exchanges. Number of contracts, like 10,000, 20,000, how many futures contracts are being traded right now in on some of these futures exchanges. So, as we can see, pricing of Bitcoin is in blue. Price of number of open interest is in yellow. So here, remember, starting in July, when Bitcoin spiked up and hit 123k for the first time, we saw open interest spike up. That means a lot of people going long, right? Boom, they crashed the price down to 113k, then took the price up to 124k. That was the all-time high in August, and then crashed the price down to 106k, and that because we don't want to see open interest high. Usually when we see open interest high, that means a lot of people are going long, and that's when they want to crash the price down a few weeks later. And here once again, when we hit 118k, lots of gamblers came in, lots of open interest, and then boom, that's why they took it down to 109k again. And now, in the last few days, right, by Tuesday this week, when I was looking at this chart, Bitcoin price hit 121k, and now it's more like 122, 123k. But look, the amount of gambling, the amount of open interest, the amount of longs, which I assume it is longs, have shot up to a new high, and that is why we should get some pullback. And that's normal. That's to be expected, because look at this. We are getting that pullback now. We're getting that pullback now at 123.9, almost 124k area, and we're back to 121.9k area. That's why we're getting this pullback. Too many excited longs getting too excited about this. When it pulls back, I do expect to see this 119k area to be solid support. See, there are so many tops here, right? So many daily tops, right? And then so many daily bottoms here, right? This is a very thick range around here, around between 119 to 117. And you've got another top here, 117, another top here, 117. So when we pull back, 119k area is first support. And if it really tries to smash through, then this let's call the 116k area, right, is strong support for us to bounce off. I think we could even bounce off this 119 or high 118k area, and then boom, next leg up. So I'm not saying up or down. I'm saying short term, we pull back to around 119, 118k, right? And by mid to late October, we make new all-time high, another big leg up. So I'm very definite about what I am saying here. Let's have a look at a few more charts. Here are the crypto funding rates for folks who are in my Discord, for folks who've been watching my videos. You're quite familiar with this already. It's basically what the funding rates are on different exchanges. And if the market was really hot right now, if everyone's going long, it would be all red, right? If everyone's going short, it will be all green. And if everyone's kind of like, if market's balanced, kind of like some red, some green, or some long, some shorts, then it would be in coded in black. Right now, we've got mostly black, some reds, and some greens. So I actually don't think this is too bad, right? Especially when you look at Bitcoin. basically 0.01 is the normal neutral rate. On Binance, it's below neutral. OKX below neutral. Bybit is on neutral. KuCoin's higher. BitGet normal. Bitunix below. Gate is normal. Bitunix below 0.01. See, Mexi also below 0.01. So basically, what all this means is that right now, not too many people are actually going fully long. There is arguably slightly more people going short. So probably like 40% of the market is going long, 60% of the market is going short, maybe 55 versus 45. So we got slightly more shorts than longs. So that's why I don't think we're gonna go down for a crash, because the exchanges have no reason to crash the market and help the shorts make money. If it went like this, boom, like down to 113K area, I would say that probably doesn't happen, because then the shorts make a lot of money, right? And then you would wonder, well, then all these people going short on the right where it shows is green, that means they're short. That means they're short, right? They would be making money, and I don't think, right, that the exchanges want to help them to do that. Not too many reds, not too many people going very bullish right now. So that's so once again, that's helped me make my decision. I think short term, next 2 or 3 days, this weekend, I think we get a early next week, I think we get a small pullback around 119K to 117K area, but then another new leg up to new all-time highs, probably above 130K in this run. And finally, I'll just show you guys this chart. This is basically Bitcoin supply in profit. As we know, there are 21 million Bitcoins, but a lot of them hasn't been mined yet, right? Hasn't been mined yet. So right now there's probably like 19 million Bitcoins that has been mined already. So we can see when this ratio is at almost 100%, it's near this 19.8 million Bitcoin area, right? So what does this mean? This white line is Bitcoin price. This green line is number of Bitcoins in profit. This is reaching like almost all Bitcoins are in profit. And when all Bitcoins in profit, they start selling. So this was the Bitcoin all-time high back then at 73K, say 73K, and it started dumping. This was a painful bear market in 2024, from all the way from March to September. Then when number of Bitcoins in profit hits about 13.5 million, right, out of 19 million, 1/3 of Bitcoins are not in profit, as in the people who bought them, Bitcoin holders not in profit, then we hit a bottom because sentiment is really bearish, and then we start going up, and of course, went from 49K to 108K, like more than 2x run on Bitcoin. And then we again see like something like 19.8 million Bitcoins in profit. And that's when it hits the top, right? A month after Trump election, and then boom, we go down again. And once we go down, once again, April this year, when we get below 15 million Bitcoins in loss, in profit, so that means like something like, 28%, 1/4, let's say 1/4 of Bitcoins are in loss. We hit a bottom and it goes up again. And say here we hit 19.8 million again, which is almost all Bitcoins are in profit, all Bitcoins in profit. And right here, see, all Bitcoins are in profit once again. That's a warning, and then Bitcoin goes down. But as I always say, no indicator is 100%, because look, there are false positives as well. This time signal worked great, it timed the top perfectly, but look at this time, we hit this area, this 19.8 million Bitcoin area early, right? When Bitcoin was still rising around 70, 80K, it went all the way to 108, 109K. So this signal was early. Here, the signal was early once again as well. The signal hit this, right, the limit area of 19.8 million Bitcoins when Bitcoin was around 100K, but it went on another 23% higher to hit 123, 124K. So here, once again, we're hitting this level where all Bitcoins are in profit. So it is a warning, but that does mean we're going to top right here. So that's why on the balance of probabilities. It's always about probabilities. My thinking is we go sideways here, bull flag, and boom, another leg up. And that's when everyone's in profit. Some people start selling Bitcoins. And next local top is around 130, 140K area. Is going to be the ultimate bull market top? I don't know yet until we get there, right? So that's why you need to stay up to date and follow Pablo for his next video. Catch you guys.